All right, so this is 7.3 homework. It says, state which theorem you can show to show the quadrilateral is parallelogram. So if you notice here, opposite angles are equal. So, and they have to both be the same, equal. So the rule here is, if both pair of, let's say professor, so if both pairs of opposite angles are congruent, then we have a parallelogram. And that's kind of the shape for a parallelogram. Okay? Number 4, opposite sides are equal. So, same idea. If both pairs of opposite sides are congruent, then we have a parallelogram. If you notice here, we have two diagonals. This is equal to that. That's equal to that. So if the diagonals bisect each other, then we have a parallelogram. Okay, number 6, 68, 68, 112, 112. I'm just going to write C number 1. It's the same answer. You can write that down yourself. If both pairs of opposite angles are equal, then you have a parallelogram. All right, now this one is not the both. This is one pair of opposite sides are the same and they're parallel. So this is a little bit different. This time we only need one pair, but it needs to be both things. They're parallel and congruent. Then we have our parallelogram. And number 8, C number 5. Okay, the diagonals bisect each other, parallelogram. All right, find the values of x and y that make the quadrilateral parallelogram. Well, once again, we know opposite are the same, so y is 66 and x is 114. Opposite sides are the same, y is 9, x is 16. Opposites are equal, 4x plus 6 equals 7x minus 3. Subtract 4x, add 3. So 7 minus 4 is 3x, 6 plus 3 is 9, x is 3. And then we have the same thing here. So those are going to be equal. 4y minus 3 equal to 3y plus 1. This time I'm going to subtract 3y here. I'm going to add 3 here. And that gives you y is equal to 4. Y is 4, x is 3. Now, this one's a little tricky because these are equal, but one has an x and one has a y. Okay, so what we're going to do is set these two equal to 180. Okay, add them together. So 5x plus 3x is 8x, minus 20 equals 180. Add 20, we get 200. And there's 4 quarters in a dollar, so there's 8 and $2, so that means x is 25. Now, if x is 25, and we plug that in right here, we can say 3 times 25 minus 8 is 75 minus 8, which is 67. That means this angle right here is 67. So if we just say 4y plus 7 equals 67, that means 4y is 60. Divide by 4, y is 15. That's just one way to do it. There are plenty of different ways to do that problem. That is just one of the many ways you could do it. Okay, so the diagonals bisect each other, so simply 4x plus 2 is equal to 5x minus 6. Subtract 4x, add 6, x is equal to 8. Okay, find the values of x and make it a parallelogram. We know these are parallel. If these are equal, it's a parallelogram, so these would have to be set equal to each other to solve this problem. Again, I'm going to get x's on one side, numbers on the other, x equals 4. Same thing here, just set them equal to each other. I like to keep my x's positive. So that gives me 5x minus 3x is 2x equals 14. And if you divide by 2, x is 7. Once again, the diagonals bisect each other, so 6x equals 3x plus 2 minus 3x. I get 3x equals 2, which means x is 2/3. And now we're going to graph and figure out if it is a parallelogram. So 0, 1 right here, 4, 4 right here, 12, 4, which is off a little bit, and 8, 1 right here. Okay. Well, the easiest way is to, if we can prove opposite sides are equal and parallel, well, the nice thing is, since BC and AD are both horizontal lines, they both have a slope of 0. We know those two are parallel. And then if we just count, 0 to 8 means AB is 8, sorry, AD is 8, and BC, 12 minus 4 is 8. This side is equal and it's parallel, therefore it is a parallelogram. We could have also found the slope of these two sides by just counting up and over and said both opposite sides are parallel. Doesn't matter. I went with one side, one pair of sides. Congruent and parallel. Okay? But again, you could have found the slope on all four and done it that way also. And last but not least, negative 3, 0 right here. Negative 3, 4 right up here. So that's E and F. And then we have 3, negative 1 and 3, negative 5 right here. So that's G and that's H. Okay, I'm going to go with the same example, same reasoning. I can count and find out that GH is 1, 2, 3, 4. And EF is 1, 2, 3, 4. And also, the slope of this line is undefined because it's straight a vertical line, and the slope here is undefined. So this rule applies to both. But again, I could have found the slope undefined and then counted and found the slope here and here, which would have been -5/6, and I could have said both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So there's multiple ways of doing these problems.